And back to the highlights we take.
All right, let's get back to him. JB, Rams taking on the Eagles. Matthew Stafford right here is going to find Kyron Williams slipping out of the backfield to the right-hand side for the 10-yard touchdown. That puts the Rams on top, 26-7. But Jalen Hurts is going to fight back and find A.J. Brown on the back shoulder fade. Beautiful touchdown pass right there. 4th and goal. The Eagles going for it. Jalen Hurts finds Devontae Smith. Another beautiful throw right there. 2-point conversion was no good. Then there at the end, Joshua McCarty coming on for the game-winning kick. Blocked by Jordan Davis, who takes it back to the house. Big boy. So from up 1, but end up winning by 7 for all those keeping a close eye on the score. That was a bad beat. Bad beat right there.
Oh, man. All right, let's keep the highlights rolling. We have the Raiders at the Commanders. Second quarter. Watch this run right here by Jeremy McNichols. He breaks a few tackles, keeps his feet, and then once he hits this sideline, he is long. All the way to the crib, 60-yard run. They were up 17-10 at that point. This is in the third quarter, though. Jalen Lane finds a lane, and my man is gone. How about that? A big-time play. A lot of special teams plays this weekend. It was a big win for Washington, who had control of this game pretty much from the jump. They win this one 41-24. And Marcus Mariota showed up big in this one with 2 total TDs in the victory.
Yeah, well, listen, let's talk about the Eagles and this win. I mean, this was an excellent ball game coming down to the wire. The Rams, give them credit. They're a physical team.
Yep.
Their defense came and played, and they played hard. But for Jalen Hurts, had only had 1 comeback in his career when trailing by 10 points. And he came back and made plays in that game. At one point, they're down 26-7. And the passing game opened up, right? We talked about it off air. We're watching this game and saying, listen, they come in and by design, they're going to run the football, play conservative, try and beat you that way. But the game changed and they were behind. Jalen Hurts stepped up. The wide receiving core stepped up. Jaylen Brown made some plays, right?
Yeah.
And Devontae Smith, the same thing. I credit to the Eagles, man. They're tough. They fought hard and then came up and made a play on special teams like we've been talking about all afternoon to seal the ball game at the end.
I had a friend of mine ask me about the Eagles offense, and he's a big Eagles fan. He's like, Nate, well, this offense is not that impressive. And there's times where I want them to light up the scoreboard. You know, and that kind of irks me a little bit. And I was like, but they're winning, though. He's like, yeah, but still. I see these other offenses, they're scoring points on points on points. I said, yeah, but they're winning, though. And the reason that I kept saying that is because you might complain about the style of winning, but never complain about getting a dub. The one thing I can appreciate about Jalen Hurts is he's gonna beat you in the way that he needs to. If they need to control the clock by controlling the ground, run the ball to open up the pass, they'll do that. But to your point, Matt, in this game, they needed to push the ball downfield. And what did they do? They did just that, looking for his superstar wide receiver, A.J. Brown. And then once you do that, it gives you the flexibility to call whatever you want in the playbook. So I can appreciate that we're seeing these layers of this offense from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, it's almost as if they do what they have to do to win the game.
Right.
And if they get forced to all of a sudden take away the rush, which they've done right now, pretty much a lot of people have, saying, you're not going to beat us with Saquon Barkley because we don't believe in your passing game. Yeah. And A.J. Brown came out there today and took a couple catches and made some people miss. He brought a physicality to the run after catch that I've not seen before. And that just spurs on that defense. And Jordan Davis, I'll say this, his first couple years, I think that guy looked like he was getting tired running on and off the field. Yeah. I mean, he looks like he looks in much better shape.
He trimmed up a little bit.
Oh, he took that ball and ran that thing in.
He looked good running down.
I said, man, is that Jordan Davis? You sure that's Jordan Davis? Yeah. that big boy looks like he can still move. So they're doing what they have to do when they have to do it, which is a sign of a championship team. There's a pedigree that exists there. They don't panic. They understand what they need to do. Do they run it? Maybe they play close to the edge and they maybe are like, do they get too close at times and do they get too comfortable at times? I don't know if that's the case. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
And they're going to get everyone's litmus test all the time. The Rams are a good football team.
Absolutely.
I mean, Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford are two of the best, toughest guys in the league.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, the Rams, they went on the road. This is a tough road trip. Come on.
Yeah.
Playing in Philly in general is tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
We know what type of city that is, how tough they are, and their team and fans, they mimic both. But when it comes to traveling from the West Coast all the way to Philly, playing against, yeah, no doubt about it. that connection between Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua is something special.
Yeah.
Devontae is really a compliment to what is already a dynamic duo. And you hate to say, where's the silver lining? We took an L and we're headed back home. You still are a really good team.
No question.
They're still at the top of the list of teams I do not want to play. With Matt Stafford as your QB, Sean McVay as your coach, and a bunch of young talent surrounding those two, they're as dangerous as anybody.
I think we've all been in locker rooms after games where we've had these conversations after a loss, like the one they had today. Really difficult loss, really well-played game, hard fought on both sides.
With a chance to win at the end.
With a chance to win at the end. And you're saying, we're going to see him again. We're going to see them again. We're going to see them at some point down the road, and hopefully it's at home, but maybe we're coming back here. We know that we can go here and we can get the job done. We got to tighten a few things up, but we're every bit as good, if not better, than the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, whenever I think about the Rams, I think about they've got an excellent coach. Number two, to Nate's point, even though his friend might have been complaining about how they won, who cares about the style points? And what did you tell me? Never make an apology for
winning.
All right, your point, and then you'll segue.
Well, I'm going to segue to the Caleb Williams. Got us an instant update right here.
Really?
Yes. Today in Minnesota, had 16 carries for 120-some yards. So I think Minnesota's ability to run the football takes some of that pressure off Carson Wentz, and he did what he had to do. And certainly, again, I go back to give enough credit to Brian Flores in that defense. Obviously, Isaiah Rodgers has this historic day. So it was a huge, huge win for Minnesota, and they need it. And I think, we're talking about a team was 1-1. A tough loss that came off to Atlanta on a very short week. It was a big win for Kevin O'Connell.
And Coach, you've talked about this quite a bit as a defensive-minded head coach. You have a backup quarterback coming into the game. You're going to talk to every single part of your team. Special teams, here's what I need from you. Offense, running back, step up. Receivers, make yourself available. Tight ends, running backs. When you're out in the field, you need your quarterback to give you that dump off, be there for him. And then on the defense side of the ball, I've been in those meetings where the defensive coach would come in to the team meeting and specifically talk to our defense and say, listen, we got a backup quarterback in. I'm going to need you guys to make plays. And that's exactly what this Vikings defense did all game long.
Yeah, and you talk about posturing in the NFC North. The Packers go down in a tough loss. We all thought the Packers were the best team in football. They had looked that way the first couple of weeks. They went against a really good Cleveland defense, fell a little bit short there at the end of the game. But for Minnesota, you're back in it. Right? And I know it's early, but you got to stay on pace with the Detroit Lions, with the Green Bay Packers. And they did that today. I thought Isaiah Rodgers was fantastic, Nate. You looked at it. Former teammate of mine in Indianapolis. I mean, this is, tips and overthrows. We say that all the time. You got to get those on the defensive side of the ball. But what do you do when the ball's in your hand? It shows elite speed going down the sideline right here. And Coach, you talked about it last week, the peanut punch. My kids are all over the peanut punch. This is textbook right here. Targets it. And again, what do you do when the ball's in your hand? Taking it back. And then for a third time, let's punch it out one more time.